Yep, I had to grab my emotional support Grogu before I start talking about this roller coaster of emotions that is Chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, because so much happened that my brain still can't really comprehend that this was an actual thing that happened in real life, you know? But before we get into that, what is up, my dudes, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? I am one creative ginger, and in this house we have incoherent rants about movies, TV shows, and anything fan related, all while dressed in cosplay. So like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. Alright, I think I'm gonna put you down. He was too much. So, of course, we start off this episode with the Pikes being shady, and our boy, Cobb Vanth, catches them and thankfully doesn't get killed, because I thought he might. You know, you just never know with Star Wars, right? But the opposite actually happens, which is good. So he lets one of them live so he can go tell whoever's in charge of the Pikes, right, to not tread on his territory. But he does leave the spice, and Cobb Vanth just ends up kicking it into the dirt because he's not a fan of spice, especially when it's being run near his home, in his home, you know. He's not a fan, and obviously that doesn't bode well. Right? So then we switch to Mando, who's flying to a planet that Luke took Grogu to train him, and R2 is there, but he's there to greet Mando, and we also get to see some droids building a structure that may or may not, but definitely is a future Jedi school, right? While Mando's waiting, we switch to Grogu and Luke, who actually low-key looked like Tobey Maguire to me at first, but like, other than that, he looked really good for the entire episode. Like, that CGI was on point. It was great. And the scenery, too. Like, holy hell, was that just gorgeous. And then we get a scene, it's so cute, where Luke's telling Grogu about Yoda, and he just kind of like pushes him to help him walk faster. And it's just so cute because he's just like hopping as Luke's walking. Oh, it's so cute. It was great. But we then just do a complete 180, because then Luke helps Grogu remember a flashback, and of course it's related to Order 66, because why not? Why not remind us of the clones killing their Jedi friends, which, you know, we now know was totally against their will. They didn't want to do any of that, but they were, you know, the inhibitor chip was a little bitch and forced them to do it. And just, yeah. So that's fun to see that again. And be reminded of all that. Right? Yeah. So fun. So then we switch back to Mando, who ends up meeting up with Ahsoka, and he wants to see Grogu because that's his little son. But she's not letting him. she's just cock blocking him the whole time. She's like, no, you know, he's there, he's fine, but you can't really see him. Because, you know, the whole annoying thing where Jedi aren't supposed to have attachments, because that's just the rule, I guess. And, you know, it's annoying, because, especially with Ahsoka, because she saw what happened with Anakin. Like, who does that, like, the whole rule helps no one. Like, who does it help? If anything, it deliberately forces Jedi to the dark side. Because there's no real, what's the reason? What? Like the whole reason Anakin turns to the dark side is because the whole Jedi Order is like, no attachments, you can't care about anyone for some reason, even though that doesn't make any sense. You know, you'd think that'd be more of like a Sith thing, right? No, it's just, I don't know. It's really dumb. I don't like it at all. It's the stupidest rule. And yeah, it's never helped anyone. We've never seen it do anything good for the Jedi, ever. In fact, it always helps the Sith, if you think about it. Always helps the dark side. You know, it's just a dumb rule that shouldn't exist, especially now, especially when Ahsoka knows what it can do to a Jedi. You know? It's just, it's so dumb. So, of course, you know, Mando leaves his little Grogu gift with Ahsoka and then leaves the planet because, yeah, Ahsoka was basically guilt-tripping him into doing so. Like, it's just so dumb. But, yeah. We do get a cute scene of Luke carrying Grogu in a backpack and doing cute little flips and shit, you know? Because we've seen that before. That was really nice to see again. And then we do get a nice scene where Grogu is reconnecting with the Force, because, you know, this whole time he has been suppressing his powers so he can stay hidden. That was like a whole thing. And now he's able to use it. And Luke even says, yeah, he's always had the connection. He's already had this training. He just needs to remember it. But yeah, of course, Ahsoka and Luke talk about Grogu's attachment to Mando and how apparently that's a bad thing, and so that's why they're not allowed to see each other, which, rude, for one. But, like, yeah, you know, what are we expecting? And then, during that scene, Ahsoka mentions how much Luke reminds her of Anakin, and, like, for real, though, that had me tearing up. It has me tearing up a little bit right now, because, like, that's so sweet. That's so cute. Like, but yeah, so then Ahsoka leaves and we switch back to Mando, who ends up joining Boba at Jabba's palace and the rest of the gang he has gathered throughout this show. And they talk about how to, you know, how they're going to deal with the Pikes, that kind of shit. But Fennec says, well, they do have the muscle. They do need some numbers. They need some foot soldiers. And Mando's like, you know what? I got you. I know exactly who to help. Obviously, he goes to Mos Pelgo and asks Cobb Vanth for help. And the sexual tension between the two of them is fun. It is an absolute treat to watch because it is so entertaining to watch these two interact, because, like, they're flirting with each other. Like, come on. Did you hear the dialogue? You can't convince me otherwise. They got something going on. They got some flirting going on. They got some banter. It's nice. I love to see that. Obviously, Mando's trying to get Vanth to help him and to help Boba, and he's just kind of like, why should we? That kind of thing. You know, we're peaceful. We don't really need to do anything else. And Mando's like, well, the Pikes are going to take over the whole planet, so it kind of is your problem. And then Vanth's finally like, you know what? I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can find anyone that can help you round up some people, you know? And so Mando's like, all right, well, that's better than nothing, right? So he leaves, and then Vanth immediately, he's talking to the bartender guy, right? And he's just like, gather up anyone that can fight, because we got shit to talk about, because, you know, he saw the Pikes encroaching on his territory, so he knows, you know, he was just playing hard to get with Mando, right? But, like, he knows that the Pikes are going to be a problem for them, and so obviously he's just like, yep, we gotta figure this shit out, right? But then a certain someone shows up, and that someone is none other than Cad Bane, who's looking hella creepy, I might add. And, of course, someone had to edit him to look more like he did in the Clone Wars, which, you know, isn't bad. He does look really good. But they made him less creepy, you know? Because clearly the actor's wearing prosthetics and there's not a whole lot of CGI really going on. So, obviously, Cad Bane's going to have more human proportions than he usually does, which is great because it really gets into the whole uncanny valley type thing. And if you don't know what the uncanny valley is, it's basically something that's supposed to look as humanly possible, usually like a robot or a doll, that kind of thing. But there's something off about the appearance that makes you uncomfortable and unsettled, you know? It's just, it's you know it's supposed to look human, but there's just something not right with it. So in this case, with Cad Bane having more human proportions, it's supposed to be very unsettling and make you uncomfortable. So editing it to make him look more alien really takes away from how creepy he's supposed to be looking, you know? But like, he's creepy. He's unsettling. And it's a vibe. So then, of course, you know, we have Cad Bane threatening Cobb Vanth, and he's just like, if you help Boba Fett, we gonna have a problem, right? And the Pikes probably hired him, but it's very clear that Bane's got a grudge against Boba because in the Bad Batch, it basically confirms the fight where Bane and Boba shoot each other in the head because you see the metal plate on Bane's head. So it's like, obviously that's a thing, and obviously Boba's helmet has the dent in it, so we all know, obviously, that had to have happened, right? And that's why he's got a bit of a grudge against Boba, you know? Because, yeah, he was pretty salty about it, right? So, of course, Cad Bane ends up shooting Cobb Vanth and his deputy, too, who gets shot multiple times. But Vanth only gets shot once in the shoulder. Kind of similar to how Cad Bane shoots Hunter, right? But we all know Hunter survives, so I'm assuming Vanth also survives because he just gets shot once, and it looks like he gets shot in the shoulder, if anything. So it's like he's gonna still be alive. Then we switch gears again to see the Twi'lek bar and our gorgeous lady Garsa, which finally learned her name. Did not know she had a name, so I'm glad I found it out. But that doesn't last long because then the Pikes blow it up with a bomb, which honestly was very rude and completely uncalled for. I was not a fan. That was ew. No. Because why? Out of everything you could have bombed, why did you bomb the cantina? Like, hey, no. But yeah. So then, this episode ends with Luke making Grogu choose between Mando's gift and, you know, forsaking the whole Jedi thing and going to live with Mando, you know, that kind of thing. So he can't be a Jedi anymore. Or choosing Yoda's lightsaber and having no attachments whatsoever. You can't like anyone. You can't care about anyone because it's a dumb rule. You know? So, of course, we don't know what Grogu chooses because that's how the episode ends. Right there. Yeah. But yeah, this was an insane episode. And so much happened. I'm just hoping Grogu chooses the armor because the whole continuing the thing where Jedis don't have attachments thing, I don't like it. It's dumb. And we've seen that it does more harm than good. Yeah, just teach them how to have healthy relationships. Like, goddamn, it's not that hard, you know? But, yeah, I don't know. I do hope that we get to see a potential Cad Bane versus Fennec Shand rematch, because they did fight each other in the Bad Batch, and it's very clear that Bane holds grudges, so it's like, I'd like to see him fight her. And of course, I still want to see either Omega or some, like, clones showing up, but, like, I think if that's gonna happen, it's gonna be in season 2 at this point, because, like, they're gearing up for a war. Like, at this point, they're, like, wrapping up this season. If they end up having a second season, I think we'd see some clones. This was just a great episode. Absolutely stunning. Everything about it was insane. But, like, ooh, a lot did happen. They threw a lot at us. So, it was a lot to process, but, like, in a good way. I'll bring you back. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. If you guys have any thoughts and feelings about this, share all that good shit in the comments down below. If you're interested in following me on other social media, I post art and cosplay related content on my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. If you'd like to get weird with me. So, if you like this video, I don't like, subscribe, and smack that bell if you'd like to see more of my face every Saturday when I post a new video. And don't forget to stay sparkly, my dudes!